Thanks for logging on to Wayne.com alongside Touchdown Tommy Davis of the News Sentinel. I'm Glenn Marini, and we've got a lot of football to talk about because it is do or die time yet again. Sectional semifinals this coming Friday. Taking a look at week one, it kind of shook out how most people thought. Snyder, if you're not from the area, you'd have thought Kokomo was the favorite. Snyder takes care of business down there, and it pretty much there weren't too many upsets in first round.
No, really. There were some surprises, like Cherubusco just annihilating Adams Central 50-6. So that was surprising, and some of the scores were surprising, but the actual outcomes pretty much went as we expected.
All right, let's start off with this week's games. We're going to start off in 5A Sectional 3, the only local 5A Sectional. Homestead at Carroll. We got a little conference flavor in this. Homestead versus Carroll on the top half of the bracket. Northside versus Snyder on the bottom half, and SAC foes. Talk a little bit about what you can see in the Homestead-Carroll game, because this is a rematch of earlier in the season where Homestead won 38-10, and Homestead's defense is playing better at this point in the year.
Now, I will give Carroll credit on this. When they played Homestead the last time, they did play Homestead well for the first half. However, eventually Homestead's offense and defense were just too powerful for Carroll, and they overtook them and beat them, like you said, 38-10. I would expect a similar type of game this time. Homestead's playing very, very well. Carroll needs to take solace in the fact that they've won 5 games this year. That is a great launching point for the first year of the Doug Dinan era. And I'm telling you, about 3-4 years from now, once he gets all those athletes going out at Carroll, this is going to be one heck of a rivalry. Carroll is not just good in every sport, they're great in every sport. And there's no excuse for them not to be great in football. So this is a matchup for a few years down the road that'll really be great, but not this year. Homestead will take care of business.
And you know what's really stunning on the other side of the bracket is Northside and Snyder played in week 6, and that was I was at that game. That was not a pretty game of football. Right. It was just a 10-zip Snyder win. Could Northside give Snyder a better game than Kokomo gave Snyder?
Oh, absolutely. Northside plays in the SAC. Kokomo plays in the North Central Conference. Northside's used to playing great football teams, and so obviously they have the capability of hanging with Snyder. They did it earlier. They've got the athletes to do it. If they can minimize turnovers and play a disciplined football game where they don't have a lot of penalties, yeah, they could be right in this game.
Here's what amazes me about Snyder's offense is they've struggled at times during the season, but when they played Dwenger, they put up 40+. They go down to Kokomo, an undefeated team. They put up 40+. Right. It seems like that offense can just kind of turn it on really when they have to.
Well, on the nights where their dual quarterbacks are playing well, then yeah, they're an explosive offense. And John Nelson's run for over 1,000 yards this year, so he's having a nice year at the running back position as well. Akeem Nelson is a good receiver, so he can make some plays. So they have the capability. They've shown it to be explosive offensively. However, Northside has the athletes on defense that they can contain some of that speed.
And I think when you take a look at 4A Sectional 11, there are some really good matchups in that 4A bracket this week. East Noble at Dwenger, NHC co-champ, tri-champ, versus the SAC outright champ. That's one heck of a football game. And then you've got 2 9-1 teams in Columbia City and Angola squaring off on the bottom half of that bracket.
Well, back to Columbia City, Angola to start with. If you like passing, that's the game to go to. Angola's Alex Bauer has 27 touchdowns, and Logan Rare of Columbia City has 20 touchdown passes. So you're going to see the ball in the air a lot in that game. Really high scoring, really fun to watch game for those of you that are going out to that game. But the big kahuna is the East Noble Dwenger matchup, which, a lot of people will say that Dwenger's ranked second in the state, East Noble's only 11th, so maybe Dwenger will take care of them. They're the SAC team, and they probably will win this game. But remember, 2 years ago, Dwenger played East Noble and only won 21-17. I don't know if East Noble has the defense to slow Dwenger's powerful running game down, and I don't know if they have the speed to hang with those guys, in particular Ramond Wright, but I know this, East Noble can score points. So East Noble's going to get their points. Dwenger's probably going to get their points too. It's just a matter of whether East Noble's defensive line can handle the strength of the offensive line of Bishop Dwenger, which opens up huge holes, and Ramond Wright, in his great speed and his great power, just breaks off big plays.
And in one sense, this matchup is a strength versus strength. When you take a look at East Noble scoring 41 points a ball game, Dwenger has only given up 14 points twice. this season, or more.
But East Noble's the best offensive team they've seen this year. East Noble can run the ball, they can pass the ball. A.J. Dove's been magnificent, 24 touchdowns heading into last week and nearly 2,000 yards passing. He is a really, really good quarterback who can make a lot of plays. So Dwenger will give up more than 14 points this week. I think Dwenger will win. I'm not going to pick against them again. I made that mistake in the Lures game. But believe me, East Noble's going to score some points.
Okay, so you like Dwenger. Who do you like as far as Columbia City, Angola?
I like Columbia City. Just a little bit more difficult schedule this year, and they've really got a lot of confidence. They've got the receivers going. They can run the ball a little bit. Their defense has been fairly solid. They've been in some high-scoring shootouts, and they don't flinch. That's the key to Columbia City. Comes down to the final play of the game. No big deal. They've done that a bunch of times this year.
4A Sectional 12, Muncie South at Delta. We won't talk about that. South at New Haven. Southside played really well last week, put up some big numbers on the scoreboard, but not quite as many as New Haven when you put up 73 at Jay County over in Portland.
Right. Well, there's 73 points for New Haven against Jay County. Both these teams played horrible teams last week. Fort Wayne South played a bad Muncie Central team, and New Haven played a horrible Jay County team. No offense to those programs. It is what it is. And Fort Wayne Southside is nowhere near capable of hanging with New Haven. New Haven will run the ball. Lucas Salerno will keep him a little bit honest if he has to pass some. But Devon Hurst, who's had just an outstanding year on the ground this year, he'll control this game, and New Haven should win this pretty easily.
Yeah, if Southside can get the passing game going, I think they can hang around John easily. Because they are kind of one-dimensional, he gets ganged up on, and I think he is one of the more talented running backs in Northeast Indiana.
Yeah, but you got to have dual threats there, and Southside just hasn't gotten it going offensively this year.
Maybe this is the week. Maybe this is the week. You never know. You never know. The playoffs are always interesting.